Welcome back. I'm Calvin Statue Fanatic here with another review, and today we're going to take a look at a smaller scale figure. This is of Psylocke from the Uncanny X-Men. This figure was distributed by Diamond Select as part of the Marvel Premiere Collection, which started back in 2004. This is a 12-inch figure, so I'm assuming that's approximately a 1/6 scale figure. So we'll start off by talking a little bit about the packaging, and then we'll talk about the sculpt of the statue, the paint application, and then the value, just like I do on all the other statues. Starting with the box. The box is not too big. It's a pretty small box, and it came packaged really well. The statue came in perfect condition. There was no issues with it. The box was nice. I think I ordered this from BigBadToyStore. Got it in just a matter of days. The shipping was absolutely incredible. They charged $4 shipping to get it to me, which was pretty awesome. Some of the lowest shipping out there. This particular box it doesn't have any artwork, if you will. It just has photographs of her and photographs of the statue on the back of it, and on the side, different views, angles of her. On the back, it gives a little bit background about her and what's happening here in this scene, and talks about the psychic knife and things like that, and what's going on and how this scene came about. It was sculpted by a sculptor that I hadn't heard of before. I'm going to try to pronounce his name. Forgive me if I messed that up. Alejandro Pieria is the sculptor of this. And packaging, other than that, not a whole lot. On the very bottom, talks about the edition size of it being 3,000. And also in the box was a certificate of authenticity, which is 1,073 of 3,000 pieces. Not too bad for a statue of this size. So with that, let's go over to the actual statue. The statue stands about 12 inches tall. She's about 8.5 inches long. And at the widest point here, she's about 4.5 inches wide. The overall piece is really nice. It is a solidly sculpted piece. It has a lot of weight, even though it's compact in size. When you pick it up, it has a lot of weight to it, and I know that matters to a lot of people when they get something. So I'm going to start with the sculpt of this statue and start from the base and go up, because I love the base. The base is a very, very cool cutout piece, sort of like I've said in other videos, sort of a diorama, a whole scene going on. It's not a static museum pose of this particular character. The base is my favorite piece of this statue. I mean, I love the whole piece. It's really nice, but the base, the detail and sculpt in it is really incredible for such a small scale piece. A lot of attention and detail went into this. If you look at it, it looks like it's somewhere in the Orient, based on the architect here, and it's a segment of a rooftop that she's on, and starting from the very bottom of this rooftop, you can see that there is this wood-looking grain here. It looks like beams that are going across that are wood grain, that are painted and shaded in such a way and sculpted in that way. And up here you have this tile concrete type molding that's around the roof here. You can even see parts of the plaster that have been broken off or that is crumbling off from age on here. Pretty nice. And the same thing up here, wood grain, and very nice detail on the very back of it. Lots of intricate detail here. This is pretty awesome. I mean, if you look really closely, there's just a lot going on there, and it seems like they took a lot of time and attention to make sure that this looked really good, and it does. It looks great. And on the other side, there's no plaster there, but it's a complete wood cutout, slab of wood that you can see grain, you can see texture, you can see shading, all of that on there. Looks really awesome. And on the rooftop itself, with these shingles that you see here that she's landed on, you can see that there's these arrows that have landed here that are on fire. They're made of this translucent material, sort of like the Phoenix statue. Looks really awesome. Depending on how you display it, the light catches it really well, and it looks great. The arrows, the heads of them have detail on it. The roof itself, the shingles, very nice detailing. And then more of that detail in the back here that continues, that I talked about on the back side of the statue. So the base and what she's standing on is great. She doesn't come in multiple pieces. This is one piece, so you don't put it together. Sometimes that could be a problematic in terms of breakage and that type of stuff, but the packaging was great and had no issues there. And moving up to her entire body, this pose is pretty dynamic. I'm not sure what's happening here. It's almost like she's looking at somebody and said, you know, you missed me again. She looks pretty serious there, and she looks good doing it. The pose is nice. The sculpt of the material that's on her, it's definitely all painted and sculpted. There's no mixed media, but it looks really nice from the shading. The just even like on her caps here, the blue tone here is quite different from the blue tone, the very dark tone in the back, kind of simulating how light is catching the outfit. Very, very nicely done. Her psychic knife, I think it is here, the energy weapon that she has, again made out of some translucent material that looks really cool under certain lights, and if you have certain color lights, it catches it really well. Love this. Again, here, her sash that she's wearing, she has on the belt here, there's a X-Men emblem there on that. You can see it blowing in the wind. It's pretty cool stuff here. And then her hair, lots of detail and sculpting in her hair. Very, very nicely done. Now, as far as the paint application is concerned, one or two areas on here where you can see that the line work isn't perfect, but for this size statue, you have to look very, very closely to see what I'm talking about. But you do see it in certain areas. Nothing that I'm concerned about because it looks really nice. You have to look very closely to see it. And it is in various areas on the statue where you can see that. But for such a small statue, I think they did a fantastic job with the paint application. On her face, now that's where it really shines as far as the paint app. On her portrait, and painting her lips, her eyes, very tiny areas there that are painted extremely well. That they nailed. They didn't get anything wrong in terms of the paint application there. It's just on areas where her costume touches her skin. You can see some spillover, just small areas. The skin tone, I love it. Looks really great. Look like she's got a really nice tan going on there. Not a whole lot else to talk about. I'll pick her up here under the bottom here. It actually has the edition size under the bottom of here as well. Marvel Diamond Select and 1073 of 3000. Again, it's a pretty heavy piece too when you pick it up. I am very happy with it, and I think if you guys are planning on picking this up, you would be happy, especially if you're an X-Men fan. Fantastic piece. Now, talk about the rating of the statue. The box. Packaging did what it's supposed to do. It got it here safely. There was no damage to even the box when I got it, so pretty happy with that. No extraordinary artwork on it, but very solid. Lots of detail on lots of information on the back about the piece, so give it a solid 9 out of 10. Now, when it comes to the sculpt and the pose, I love it. I think it's a fantastic pose. I would love to see this in quarter scale. It's really an awesome piece. Love the fire, the arrows, all of that stuff. Love the detail on the sculpting on the back of the roof. So I'm going to give it a solid 10 out of 10. And when it comes with the paint application, even though there were some areas on it that are not perfect, I still think they did a fantastic job with a small piece, and I've seen larger scale statues where it didn't even come close to being as good as this. So let's do a 9 out of 10 with that. And now when it comes to the value of the statue, you've heard me say many, many times before that I think the price of some of these statues are going way up there. And for people who love collecting and want to get into this field, but have no desire to pay some of the crazy prices for some of the larger scale figures, this is an incredible way to get into collecting statues. So the value of this is going to be a 10 out of 10. You can pick this statue up depending on where you get it from eBay or Big Bad Toys, anywhere from $99 to $150 easy. And like I said, at BigBadToyStore, they actually shipped it for $4. So it's a great value, and that gives it an overall 9.5. Again, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to check out the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want to stay on top of some of the latest news in collecting and entertainment, please head over to Marvelous Collectible and Entertainment. That's mcecentral.com, where you can find some of the latest reviews and unboxings of your favorite characters, as well as some of the new releases from some of the major studios and customs that are coming out. So until next time, peace.